And we can go back to maybe try to find Tusculum. I bet that would be, and the Jonesboro cam. Those two cameras, while the heavy rain's not quite there, we could probably see some pretty impressive lightning from them, and also heavy rain soon to move into those locations.
Jonesboro, I do have that.
And we do have some heavy rain coming down, actually.
Yeah, some
right
heavy
now.
rain in Jonesboro and lightning I see from the camera.
We can take that real quick. I can see that cell moving through Jonesboro. The main line is actually still back to the west by about 6 or 7 miles.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to be a brief little spurt of some heavy rain here at the downtown area of Jonesboro. And then that's probably going to let up, and then we'll see the main line come in over the next, let's say 20 or 30 minutes. But you can see the lightning strikes are definitely pretty frequent and noticeable in the Jonesboro area right now. Let's go back to Doppler radar, and this is the area that is under the severe thunderstorm warning until 1 a.m. And this does include the Greenville and Tusculum area, St. James and Camp Creek, all the way through Telford and Chuckey and Limestone, extending up into Sulphur Springs and Jonesboro, Johnson City, Lamar, South Central, and Johnson City, eventually pushing into Carter County, Elizabethton, and Interstate 26 area of Unicoi County, though the storm is still a fair distance from Unicoi County. It's still a little ways, obviously, from Carter County, but it's moving east at 50 miles per hour. I'm going to put on this is the reflectivity. This is showing us where the heavy rain is. It shows us the movement of this line of storms. I want to put on the lightning, though, and you're going to see the number of flashes that we're seeing with this line of storms as it continues to push off to the east at 50 miles per hour, moving very quickly, and that is going to be producing potentially some wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and maybe some hail. I would say mostly some small hail potential, but let's see if we can. It looks like now perhaps highest chance of a little hail right now might be in Greene County, between Newmansville and Geraldstown, right near Graysburg. Could be up to penny-sized hail with that segment of the storm. But again, I don't think we're going to see large hail necessarily, but there is where we probably have the possibility, maybe up to quarter-size hail, now showing up here along Smith Mill Road access near Graysburg up to Highway 93 along the Washington and Greene County line. So that is where the hail is probably the largest at this time with this line of storm, but there could be some small hail, maybe up to pea to penny-sized hail, extending along the remainder there of that line through Greene County, near Greenville to Mossheim, south to the Cott County line. Again, probably not large hail, but it looks like the hail core, the area that might have the highest probability of some quarter-size hail would be right near the Washington and Greene County line at this point.
I do have the Tusculum University camera up. It's kind of hard to see but you can see definitely a lot of lightning, and it is raining currently in Tusculum. So that's what we're looking at. It's kind of hard to see this particular camera when it's very dark, but certainly we are seeing quite a bit of lightning. Did we get an update?
Yeah, that was just an update on from the tornado warning in Ashe County. Just an update saying the tornado warning remains in effect until 12:30 for. Let me put the reflectivity back on here, and this is an update on this storm right now. Just from the National Weather Service as of about 12:03. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Clifton and moving east at 25 miles per hour. So this storm continues to move through Ashe County. I would say the tornado warning would be most impactful for the area near Clifton, and then it getting just to the west of Jefferson. I'll put the movement of this off to the east, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and change the speed that I have for these storms. This one's moving east at 25, and so again, that tornado warning for Ashe County is in effect until 12:30, and I'll go ahead and track this. Again, it looks like it'd be the southern segment of this line, or this storm. That would be so that's how far it's going to move in an hour. So right now the storm is moving east at 25. So Smethport at 12:09, Jefferson about 12:14. Nathan's Creek around 12:19, New River State Park around 12:26, Scottville 12:28, Furches around 12:33, Whitehead around 12:49, and Doughton Recreation Area around 12:54. Of course, that takes it well out of Ashe County by those last communities and landmarks, but nonetheless, I would say the Ashe County Airport as well as Jefferson, you folks need to be in your safe place as this tornado warned storm continues to move in your direction, and the time stamp there would be about 12:14 Ashe County Airport. So that dangerous storm continues to push through Ashe County, and that tornado warning in effect until 12:30 for that part of Ashe County.
If we go to Jonesboro camera right now on Max 2, we do have those wet streets that just a little bit ago that Jonesboro got hit with some downpours, but we have that main line of thunderstorms that's going to be moving in very, very soon. Looking off to the west, we can see quite a bit of lightning as in downtown Jonesboro from the Ashley camera network. So looking at the radar right now, it is literally just right at your doorstep, Jonesboro. So just take precautions, get in your safe zone, safe place, because we're going to see this particular storm is moving very, very fast off to the east at around 50 miles per hour. So we are going to see more than likely some damaging winds with this because of the speed it is moving very fast, again, about 50 miles per hour. Plus, we're also seeing some heavy downpours with this and quite a bit of lightning, and we certainly can see that from the Ashley camera looking in downtown Jonesboro.
So let's go back to the radar, Teresa, and just show you what you were talking about. That big downpour, it was a pretty quick hitting downpour, came through Jonesboro. That was this. That was what we were looking at, just a few minutes before the current. And that's now pushed up into the Johnson City area. But the main event, as Teresa was pointing out, is now just to the west of Jonesboro and is moving through the Ridges, Golf Course, Sulphur Springs, and Jonesboro. Now that's part of the storm that is now squarely into Washington County. Let me see if we can get the hail tracker on here. So yeah, it looks like we could maybe see up to penny, maybe nickel-sized hail with this storm, perhaps up to quarter size, just to the west of Jonesboro, or now heading toward the Jonesboro area, with the area along the Gray Station, Sulphur Springs Road, Barkley Road, and extending near Stewart Hill. The core of the heaviest part of the storm will be heading into Leesburg and into the Jonesboro area. You can see right now as it moves pretty quickly off to the east, about 50 miles per hour. We've got, again, in the Johnson City area, we got that brief downpour that came through downtown about 15 minutes ago is now already up into Johnson City, ETSU, Milligan, but we're still seeing that the main core of this storm pushing through the areas from near Gray and Boones Creek, near the Sullivan County line, and I know there's rain further to the north up into Bristol again, but the severe thunderstorm warning is from about Boones Creek along Interstate 26 to Sulphur Springs, to Jonesboro, to Telford, to South Central, to Limestone, fully encompassing, as we had shown you there, Tusculum University and Greenville, some heavy rain, and then extending all the way south towards St. James, and then into Cott County near Parrottsville. So this line of storms is moving very quickly off to the east and moving eastward at about 50 miles per hour. And that's why it's not taking very long to get across these areas. It's already moving. I can do a quick track of this now, running from near, well, that's not, let me start that over. Did you have some new info, Teresa?
No, I did not. I put up the Johnson City camera and to just take a look at Johnson City because it is going to be moving in there. Well, currently right now they're receiving some rainfall, but that main line is just very, very close to Johnson City moving in, and we can see a lot of lightning from that. So you have the latest track there.
And you can see it. So, we saw on the North State of Franklin from Bank of Tennessee on our Ashley Camera Network, some heavy rain showers coming through, but that line of storms that's pushing in from the west is the reason we have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Johnson City. And that segment of the storm is now arriving. So, it says 12:13. We've already got heavy rain showers and thunderstorms in Johnson City, but the main line that I've got it tracked on, eastern edge of that, is pushing now into Johnson City. And we'll include areas that now, Johnson City, 1222, Elizabethton, 1223, Okolona, Irwin around 1229. Again, there's some breakaway showers ahead of this line that I'm tracking, so that doesn't mean it can't rain before then. But some Butler around 1235, Neva, this is all the way back into Johnson County, around 1244, Roan Mountain about 1249, Trade around 1254, Sugar Grove around 1 o'clock, and Jefferson around 109. So this line of storms pushing east very quickly, and will continue to move across northeast Tennessee and that whole area that is being warned for right now between now and 1 a.m.
We do have a flash flood warning in effect for west central Greene County until 4:15. So between 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts up to an inch are possible in the warned area. Law enforcement reports several roads in the White Pine area are impassable. Flash flooding is ongoing and expected to begin shortly. Some locations that will experience the flash flooding include Morristown, White Pine, Bainbury, Mosheim, Lowland, and Mohawk.
So that's the western western portion of Greene County, and also the eastern portion of Hamlin County. We do have, of course, very heavy amounts of rain occurring. Let me see if we still do not have any other flood advisories, but we do have 2 flash flood warnings now in effect. What time did the new one that expires at
4:15?
4:15. So, yes. Of course, never cross a flooded road, obviously, and at night it's much more difficult to recognize the dangers of flash flooding. So just be extra cautious out there. We've had a lot of rain previously across parts of Greene County and Washington County earlier today, and now this is like the second round of rain and storms this evening. And just be extremely cautious, not only within that flash flood warning area of Greene and Hamlin County, but just anywhere along this line. As fast as that rain is coming down, there could easily be some ponding of water on roadways and some low points and poor drainage areas, and normally flash flood prone locations, some road closures. And you said there were some road closures already impassable.
This one just came in. This is White Pine, which is in Jefferson, Tennessee County, but several roads in White Pine are impassable from floodwaters, and a retaining wall has collapsed.
Okay, so obviously flash flooding imminent within that flash flood warning.
Yes.
And some roads are already impassable. Again, until 4:15, that flash flood warning is in effect for western Greene County and the eastern portion of Hamlin County, and some roads impassable. That line of storms continues to push through Greene County, and there could be other roads impacted, or any streams and creeks could be coming out of their banks as well, and just be mindful, especially if you drive through or live in or near a flood-prone area, or a location that typically will take on water after these kinds of inundating rains, that you just need to be cautious, especially now we're well into the darkness of night and much more difficult to recognize the dangers of flash flooding. But official warnings include until 4:30, I guess it was, for Greene County and Hamlin County, until 2:15 for portions of Hawkins and Hancock County, those flash flood warnings. And here's kind of why we have that. You can see these very intense rains continue to push through that part of Greene County, as well as Washington County, getting hit very hard now in Johnson City. We probably could get there we go. North State of Franklin is up. Bank of Tennessee camera. We do have some very heavy rain coming across areas from near Johnson City, Elizabeth, and Boones Creek up toward Piney Flats and Bluff City, and then again extending into eastern Sullivan County. Again, not being warned for, but some heavy rain again near and to the east part of Bristol, South Holston Lake, and some general rains continue up into southwestern Virginia as well. We do not have any warnings for this activity. There might be an occasional lightning strike or two, but certainly the more intense area of storminess continues across East Tennessee, and we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Greene County, the northeast and east central parts of Cobb County, almost the entire part of Washington County, Tennessee, all of Unicoi County, most of Carter County, and southern Johnson County until 1 o'clock in the morning. These storms racing off to the east pretty quickly at about 50 miles per hour. And that's why by 1 a.m., the dangerous part of these storms are going to be moving past these counties and toward the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. But until that happens, be on the lookout for the possibility of some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, perhaps some hail, especially it looks like now into parts of Washington County. It looks like perhaps our heaviest storm activity is in Washington County right now, from near Lamar and Jonesboro toward Johnson City, Boones Creek, and extending up into Carter County near into the north of Elizabeth and toward Piney Flats along the Sullivan-Carter-Washington County line. That's where our most intense activity is with this line of storms currently, as it continues to push off to the east at 50 miles per hour.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Max 2 on Northeast State into Blunteville near the airport. And the wind continuing to pick up, the rain as well as the lightning. That has been one of the main things one of them, I should say, is the lightning that we have seen. Quite a bit of lightning show tonight, along with those heavy downpours, and again, the damaging winds that this line of thunderstorms that's moving through the area right now is about 50 miles per hour. So that is extremely fast, because earlier in the evening, it was about 25 to 35 miles per hour.
So I believe we're going to take the North State of Franklin cam in Johnson City, where we got also a lot of extremely heavy rain falling right now, along with some vivid lightning. Of course, we've been talking about that. And again, as this is the more intense part of the storm across the Tri-Cities now moving through the Johnson City area, that we could still have some wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Of course, right now would be just a horrible time to be out and about. It doesn't look like we're having too much traffic for good reason now in North State of Franklin in Johnson City, but just nearly continuous flashes of lightning right now occurring in Johnson City as this line of storms continues to rapidly push off to the east at about 50 miles per hour. So stay away from, the windows as these storms continue to move through. Be in your safe structure, your home, away from windows, off corded appliances, away from corded appliances, as well as corded phones, as the lightning is really intense, and the rain is very intense as well, as the Metro Johnson City area with the heaviest part of the storm. Right now you can see even a little bit of purple there near Old Turnpike Road and toward McKinley, Indian Ridge Road, toward ETSU, up toward Boones Creek Road, and then extending into the Johnson City University Parkway area, East Oakland Avenue, all the way through really the heart of Johnson City up toward Princeton and West Mountain View Road, and then extending up toward Wing Deer Park. So really all the way from the north extent of the Johnson City metro area all the way through the south extent, getting hammered with some very heavy amounts of rain, some very dangerous lightning, potentially some hail as well. I'll go ahead and put that on as we talk about the line of storms continuing to come through. So it looks like the core that might have some hail with it still moving through Johnson City. This might be a little bit old, but the last hail scan that we got here near Headtown Road, Boone storms are pushing east pretty quickly, so it's moving, through the heart of Johnson City with the possibility up to some penny to nickel-sized hail as it has continuing to move this very rapidly now through the Johnson City area.
Yeah, I put the Johnson City camera back on North State of Franklin Road because look at this heavy rain, and then we have a lot of lightning with this. Can't really see that much about as far as wind conditions. I can't see anything like a flag or anything that's indicating how strong it is moving.
The lights are flashing. The traffic lights are flashing right now.
Yes, they are, yeah. But yeah, this is heavy downpours right now and a lot of lightning. Look at that lightning, unbelievable.
Lightning, certainly one of the calling cards from this line of storms, the second line that has come through and moving pretty quickly off to the east, as we've been pointing out, at about 50 miles per hour. And we can go back now to Power 5 Doppler radar, and I would say severe wind field has passed. Greenville, still seeing some moderate to heavy rain, but the heavy, potentially damaging wind would most likely be along the leading edge of this line of storms that is continuing to move here through the Johnson City area, right through here, moving into the Irwin region, now toward like Viking Mountain near the Tennessee-North Carolina state line. That's probably near that line, and then as that line advances eastward is where the severe wind is likely to be of concern as we go beyond the next, like from now onward. That's probably where the severe wind is. So right now, Johnson City still could have some damaging wind gusts, of course, but we're seeing that heavy rain that we showed you on the cameras and some very intense lightning as well. But certainly some street flooding in the Johnson City area with this intense rain that continues to push off to the east very quickly, but nonetheless is going to be pushed into the Hunter area, but heads up in Carter County. This has already pushed into the northern part of Carter County, but going to be pushing into Elizabethton and then toward Unicoi and Irwin, right along the Interstate 26 thoroughfare there. So very poor travel conditions and the possibility of some strong damaging winds as well, especially it looks like now from near Johnson City heading toward Elizabethton and along Interstate 26 toward Unicoi and Irwin. That may be where our biggest threat is currently with this line of storms that's pushing east at 50 miles per hour. You do a little storm track on this.
Keep sending those photos in. I'm getting ready to load one up here right now of some lightning once again. That is continuing to light up the sky.
Very frequent and dangerous lightning with this, definitely. And so I'm going to go ahead and do a little storm track on the leading edge of this. I'm just kind of going to do it from the part that probably has the strongest wind potential across the viewing area right now. And that would take it to right here. So if we go 50 miles per hour, this is how fast it's going to be in an hour. By about 1:20, this entire portion of the intense line will be in North Carolina. But here over the short term, we're talking imminently over Elizabethton. We'll probably have a pretty good view of some heavy rain hitting the downtown area of Elizabethton on our camera there here shortly. And areas that also include Hampton around 12:32, Butler around 12:40, Roan Mountain around 12:43, Neva, some of these are in Johnson County, and some of these are in Unicoi County, and some of these are in Carter County. But Trade around 1 o'clock, and then into North Carolina, Newland about 1:06. Boone around 1:08, Blowing Rock around 1:16. So that's the storm that continued to produce the severe thunderstorm warning that these storms are racing across northeast Tennessee. Of course, we talked about the heavy rain and flood potential. Another round of rain actually impacting that flash flood warning that is in effect for the area near the Hawkins and Hancock County line. This area right through here is currently under flash flood warning until 2:15, and we are seeing another wave of heavy rain pushing into that zone right now. So just, be on the lookout. This is sometimes, a kind of a flood-prone part of Hawkins County, can be, as well as Hancock County. And so around Klondike, up toward Idson, to the south and east of Sneedville, just be mindful we do have a flash flood warning for that part of those two counties yet until 2:15. And to add insult to injury is another wave of heavy rain is coming through those areas as we speak. So heads up. Really anywhere we've got this heavy rain occurring, but especially now it looks like the heavy wind potential, the damaging wind potential is kind of moving across now. It looks like parts of right along the Washington and Carter County line and then extending south into Unicoi County. That's where it would appear to me that we have our strongest winds and certainly some heavy rain, especially where we can see a little bit of a bowing segment right through here. You can see that little curvature in the line, moving off to the east at 50 miles per hour. And sometimes you go right here, right in the apex of that bow, that sometimes you get some of your stronger winds that can kind of emanate and bow out from the line of storm. So just be mindful here across parts of Unicoi County and parts of Carter County now is getting it pretty good, as well as up kind of exiting the Johnson City area, the heavier rain, but pushing into Carter County, and as the severe thunderstorm warning continues for those areas until 1 o'clock in the morning. So for about another half hour, this line of storms continues to move eastward and will be impacting areas of Carter County, Johnson County, Unicoi County, and Washington County, Tennessee, as we continue to keep that severe thunderstorm warning up. We can let's just go maybe the past 3 hours or so. Let's go the past 6 hours, encompass all of what's happened here this evening. And you can see several areas of where the yellow and the oranges is beginning to fill in. And this is just, this evening through this past 6 hours, estimated. These aren't tallied, from rain gauges, but estimated Doppler radar rain totals. And we can see that this evening we're really beginning to see it add up. And maybe this doesn't include the last half hour. I should add that. It takes a little while for Doppler radar estimations to kind of get up to real time. But just to give you a clue or an idea of where some of the heaviest rain has fallen this evening, and it's pretty impressive here from near Greenville to Warrensburg and toward White Pine, and then Jefferson City up to Rutledge. This whole area near Morristown, to Dandridge, to Corton, and so forth. Many of these areas have seen between 2 and 3, maybe 4 inches of rain, and that's why we do have that flash flood warning in effect for areas around White Pine and Warrensburg, toward Morristown, where you said we had that. I'm not sure, a retaining wall has collapsed. I don't know exactly what that means, but there are some roads that are impassable within that flash flood warning.
With those amounts of rainfall, and plus on top of what we have received, not only this morning, but over the last couple of weeks, some areas have received quite a bit of heavy rainfall, and this is why we're seeing localized flooding and flash flood warnings in effect, because the water doesn't have any place to go.
Exactly.
Because the ground is so saturated. I have a couple pictures I want to share with you. This one is from Cassie and Autumn. This is actually near Bristol Motor Speedway. Nice shot of the lightning. And then also, this was interesting. Logan West from Colonial Heights sent this in. It's kind of hard to say if it's a funnel cloud or not. It kind of looks like one, but then, from pictures, it's hard to tell because we can't see if it's rotating or anything.
Right, but I mean, definitely the night sky has been very scary for a lot of folks.
Yes, and it's very hard to see a tornado at night or a funnel cloud. So it comes at the worst time ever to have tornado warnings at nighttime because you can't see anything coming your way. So that's the bad thing. But regardless, it's very, very scary clouds. So thank you both for submitting your pictures. And we have received so many good pictures and videos. Let's see here. Severe thunderstorm warning now for Avery County until 1:15.
Okay, so is that replacing the tornado warning, I'm assuming? No, Avery County, no, the Ashe County. Avery County, yes, so they're extending the warning now. I'll go to that. Let me go to, I want to first show you our live camera from Elizabethton. So you can see some really vivid lightning right now going on. Here, the rain is not particularly heavy, but I'm going to show you radar here in just a moment. But I wanted to show you a live camera from the Chamber of Commerce area here in downtown Elizabethton. So we got some very, the sky is lighting up with some very vivid lightning right now. And we do have some very intense rains pushing into the Elizabethton area. So I'm going to go back to radar right now and show you Elizabethton. There we go. So there's the current radar showing the intense line of rain and storms pushing through. The heaviest part has already moved east of Johnson City, but we still have this very intense line of storms pushing through Elizabethton toward Hunter and Hampton, and then along Interstate 26 from Okolona and then into Unicoi County around Unicoi, Irwin to about the Tennessee Welcome Center. Lighter rains impacting areas around Sam's Gap, but we also have some pretty steady, moderate to heavy rains continuing across a large portion of Greene County, where we showed you the intense rains that have occurred, dropping as much as 2 to 3.5 inches of rain just this evening. And some areas had already seen a healthy dose of rain from earlier storms and showers this morning through early afternoon. So streams are running high without doubt, and we do have that flash flood warning continuing for the western part of Greene County into Hamblin County as well. We do have the heavier rain has kind of let up a little bit over Morristown, but we still have some moderate heavy showers and thunderstorms moving through Greene County. The severe thunderstorm warning has been trimmed back a little bit now. And Greenville and Tusculum are no longer in the severe thunderstorm warning, but still some heavy rains through Greene County. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning, though, for Washington and Unicoi and Carter County and the southern part of Johnson County. yet to move into Johnson County. But also, Therese was talking and relaying some information to us about the severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Avery County as well as Mitchell and Yancey County. That's as these storms move from Tennessee into North Carolina. That is why we have the severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for those counties. So I'll pull back a little bit here and just kind of give you a time frame of when the warnings expire for the East Tennessee severe thunderstorm warnings. They expire in about 25 minutes. I would say the more dangerous component as far as wind is concerned is pushing through Carter County and Unicoi at this point, Unicoi County, and we'll be pushing into southern Johnson County. As far as the other storms now where we do have the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Avery, Mitchell, and Yancey County, those severe thunderstorm warnings, they're flashing until 1:15 in the morning. Those storms, of course, are for the line of storms now pushing through Unicoi County and continuing to move through Carter County and eventually into Johnson County. The warning, so for Avery, Mitchell, Yancey County until 1:15. So for about another 35 minutes or so, 40 minutes for that area of North Carolina, severe thunderstorm warning for the possibility of some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well as some quarter-size hail. But I do think that the heaviest part of the storm that's producing any possible wind damage right now looks to kind of be moving through Unicoi and Carter County at this point in time, moving east pretty quickly at about 45, 50 miles per hour. And I would say probably the area of concern right now is running right about through here now pushing into Mitchell County and right through the heart of Carter County. That's where the heaviest activity is now. And as far as hail is concerned, looks like we might be still looking at a little bit of maybe up to nickel size hail, perhaps penny to nickel size hail. Honing this product, the graphic may just be a little bit late. It's more likely toward Hampton right now where that blue space is, but that blue area is. But also we still are looking at some very intense amounts of lightning with this as well. I'm going to put the lightning back on here, and you can see where the most frequent lightning is. That's usually where the most intense part of the storm is, which would make sense. But moving eastward there at 45, 50 miles per hour. Still some occasional lightning strikes with all the activity through northeast Tennessee. But the concentration is higher across.
Have some cool video that was submitted to us. This is from Lisa Johnson, and she was on Johnson City towards Bristol, and she caught this on her dash cam. Look at that in the back there. You can see that's pretty impressive.
What time was that? Is it? It's like 10.
Let me see. I'll have to go back and see if 10:39 it says on here.
So yeah, I mean, we did have that tornado warning that was in effect for eastern Sullivan County, including Bristol, Tennessee.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I can't confirm, but that says about 10:38. I'd have to look back when that tornado warning, but certainly the lightning flashing up the sky gives a perception that there were some low-hanging clouds right there. So Lisa, thank you for sharing that video with us. Glad you made it home safely, and hope everyone is home safe and sound right now as well. So that is pretty impressive video right there. And as I mentioned, we still have some impressive lightning going on with this storm, especially now in Carter County. Is where the stronger lightning returns are showing up currently. I'll zoom in a little tighter here. And you can see around Hampton toward Elizabethton, up toward Bluff City and Sadie's, where some of the most frequent lightning is, and that extends along Interstate 26 into Unicoi County, along Highway 19E, in Carter County, Highway 321, also in Carter County. And so these storms continue to move eastward, and we'll be pushing into Johnson County again, and that severe thunderstorm warning does include the southern half or southern third of Johnson County, Tennessee, until 1 o'clock in the morning as well. But the storm warnings for East Tennessee are going to expire at 1 a.m., but the warnings for the North Carolina storms continue until 1:15 or so. But as I pull back, put on a broader view, put some
I was
lightning.
pulling up the King Street Boone camera, and wet streets, obviously, but they're going to get socked with another round of thunderstorms very shortly.
Yep.
Just to the west of Boone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll probably extend a severe thunderstorm warning into Watauga County, because the heavy stells that are now pushing through Carter County are going to be racing and are already racing close to the North Carolina state line. But it would appear that while Avery County is definitely in that severe thunderstorm warning, as is Mitchell and Yancey County, you were showing the Boone camera, which Boone is right here, and the area that probably has the strongest winds right now is extending from just kind of near and east of Irwin up toward Roan Mountain, Hampton area, and to near Butler, and pushing off to the east. So, this whole area is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Probably will have to include Watauga County shortly as these storms continue to push closer to the state line. And of course, Avery, Mitchell, and Yancey already under the severe thunderstorm warning, but not Watauga. But there certainly is a very impressive thunderstorm cell pushing in that direction right now. As we continue to keep an eye on just, it seems, a lot of kind of redevelopment of showers and storms across northeast Tennessee and portions of southwest Virginia. Right now, most of the thunderstorm activity is confined to northeast Tennessee. Occasionally some lightning strikes. It looks like they're around Abingdon recently, and a little bit within the last 15 minutes or so, perhaps near Saltville. But there's not a lot of frequent lightning with this activity, but still some heavy rain coming down around Glade Spring. That's good news for our friends and our viewers in southwest Virginia. But we're definitely seeing yet another area of showers and storms continuing to push off to the east through northeast Tennessee. As I kind of pull back and give you kind of a longer, a broader view, the cluster of severe storms coming through northeast Tennessee moving into North Carolina, that appears to be the main activity in East Tennessee. We got a couple of these storm cells near Huntsville, and also along the Tennessee and Alabama state line. That cluster of storms is being warned for. Some of the activity also near Valleytown in southwest North Carolina has some severe thunderstorm warnings with it. But the bulk of the severe weather at this point along this line of storms continues to race across East Tennessee into western North Carolina, where we still have those severe thunderstorm warnings in effect.
We have some great video from Jerry Witt near ETSU of, look at this lightning, lighten up the sky. Look at that. Unbelievable. Great video, Jerry. Thanks for submitting that.
And boy, some very incredible amounts of lightning with this line of storms as it's been coming through. The intense part of this line has passed Johnson City now, but definitely still moving across areas of northeast Tennessee, in particular now Carter County, and moving shortly into the southern part of Johnson County. These storms pushing to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Let me change that there. websites.
Well, Johnson City looks much better than what it did.
You got the camera
Taking
up
a look
there.
at the camera right now.
Okay.
There we go. We can take a look at that, and a little bit better than what it was a little bit ago. Less heavy rainfall, but certainly we're still seeing some rain falling in Johnson City. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how much rainfall altogether when the storm system moves off to the east.
Exactly, and still moving at a pretty good clip too, Teresa.
Right.
This line of storms now, the leading edge of what looks to be the dangerous part of the wind, still potentially is still racing across Carter County, and just about ready to push into the southern part of Johnson County. So stretching from near Butler right now, and then southbound toward Deauville around 12:51, Newland about 1 o'clock, Trade about 1:08, Boone about 1:11, Blowing Rock about 1:16, Jefferson about 1:26, Buffalo Cove around 1:30, 1:42. So these storms are going to be breaking across, are currently crashing through Carter County, but just about ready to be moving into Johnson County as well. This will be the second round.
I was looking at more storm reports. We don't have any in our area, but in Monroe County, Tennessee, 2 to 3 feet of water.
Wow.
Rendering multiple roads impassable.
See if we can get.
And then also in McMinn County, Tennessee,
Right.
several reports of water over roads ranging from less than a foot of water to totally impassable.
Yeah, that's some pretty impressive flooding going on. I do want to let you know that we do have now an extension of those warnings, like I thought we probably would, just because it's coming pretty quickly into Watauga County. We do have now a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2 a.m. for for Watauga County and Ashe County, those flashing counties right there, until 2 a.m. And severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from about 10 miles to the southeast of Bristol, there in northern Carter County near Sadie, to about 8 miles northeast of Hampton to near Elk Park, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So basically the line that is resulting in this new severe thunderstorm warning is the one that's been racing through Carter County here over the past half hour and continues to move into the southern part of Johnson County. So right there, it's kind of curved about like that and moving east at about 45 miles an hour. So this will be pushing through areas around Butler, which is right near Cove and Boone and Creston, between 1 and 1:15. Clifton, again, same area that was under a tornado warning, but this is a new storm cell coming in into Ashe County, but also Jefferson around 1:27, Ornob and Mulberry around 1:40 to 1:47. Most of those communities, with the exception of Butler and Neva, are in North Carolina, but the activity right now is over, Roan Mountain and in areas around Elk Mills and up toward Butler now, Watauga Lake getting hammered with some very heavy rain. But the leading edge of the wind potential is probably stretching from about Butler to Elk Mills now to near Roan Mountain, then pushing into Avery County, North Carolina. That seems to be the segment of the storm that most likely has the potential for some strong, damaging wind gusts. But there are still some heavy rains, but not necessarily producing severe wind gusts or hail. But still some occasional, lightning and some downpours yet extending across areas of Greene County, still southern Washington County, and zoom here around Lamar and Limestone, South Central. Still heavy downpours around Viking Mountain and and Greenville and Tusculum back toward Mossheim. And still looking at that heavy rain crossing the area near the Hawkins and Hancock County line, stretching from 11W near Burgoynesville. But that area under the flash flood warning continues to receive some heavy amounts of rain. And then we have still some heavier showers also near Damascus, some moderate showers, locally heavy, from Damascus up toward Abingdon, Glade Spring, Chilhowie, and then up toward Marion and Chatham Hill up toward Tazewell. These seem to be much less threatening than some of these, obviously, these storms that have been coming through East Tennessee, and still the follow-up activity, maybe not severe as in high winds or large hail or anything like that, but still some pretty expansive areas of some heavy rain that could be resulting in some flooding, or at least nuisance flooding, perhaps, but maybe even more serious than that. Teresa was reading some of those flood reports. Those were outside of the viewing area, but let's see if I can see. So these are the current storm reports that we've gotten so far. And again, we're still, as far as an official severe weather report out of Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, we're still looking at that 1-inch diameter hail that fell around 9:55 in Hawkins County near Church Hill, but we have not had any wind damage reports, which is good news there. But I just want to kind of go back and talk about all these flooding. There's the flooding in McMinn County that Teresa was reading about, but also we've had several reports of some wind damage and some flooding in areas of East Tennessee, just outside of our viewing area. So here's the flash flood in Jefferson County near White Pine. Several roads in the White Pine area impassable from floodwaters, and a retaining wall has collapsed. But there are also some other, the Jefferson City, Jefferson County, several trees down, and then near Strawberry Plains, we've had reports of several trees blown down, and also flash flood in Granger County near Blaine, floodwaters blocking Emory Road near Blaine, and several reports of trees down around that same area of Granger County. So there are numerous reports of some at least flooding and some scattered wind damage reports, but mainly to the west of our viewing area.
I do have some great video that was submitted to us.
All right, so it looks like we're going to get a tornado warning for...
Let's see, tornado warning for southwestern Johnson County and east central Carter County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Beech Mountain, moving east at around 40 miles per hour. Radar does indicate rotation. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of southwestern Johnson and east central Carter counties, including Elk Mills.
And so that is now the area flashing. It's in with the broader scope of it's in the midst of the larger area under a severe thunderstorm warning, but narrowed down to that smaller area where the red is flashing. That is the new tornado warning in effect until 1 a.m.
1:30.
1:30. My bad.
Yeah, it was located about 7 miles northwest of Beech Mountain, moving east at about 40 miles per hour.
The red was flashing, but had the wrong warning up. So there is the.
Yes, that is a tornado warning for southwestern Johnson and east central Carter counties until 1:30 a.m. Radar has indicated rotation with this, and again, it's moving pretty quickly off to the east at around 40 miles per hour. So if you are in that location, you need to take cover, go to your safe place in your home, in a basement. If you don't have a basement, someplace into the interior portion of your home away from windows, and cover, maybe take a pillow or something to cover your head just for protection.
And so I've got the wind, the velocity and speed and direction here of the wind, and they're going to plot some of that here for you. And so you can see these darker, the brighter kind of the oranges, and this is at storm level, but you can see some of these winds here, potentially up to 40, but you can see just to the, where was that rotation, did it say?
It did not say where the rotation was.
But
It was located about 7 miles northwest of Beach Mountain, moving east at around 40.
Okay, so let's put on the storm relative velocity here. And it looks like, as we kind of zoom in here, pretty close to Elk Mills, I would say, is where that rotation is right now with that storm. And they've also issued a tornado warning into the western part of Avery County.
North central Avery County.
Right.
Until 1:30 as well.
So, right through here, that looks like kind of right in this zone here is where that rotation is tightest right now in the kind of the easternmost part of Carter County. So folks, again, like the text said on the warning text, largely rural area, but there are some areas obviously where people live and need to be in your safe place in a lowest level of your home or residence in a interior room such as a hallway or a bathroom or a closet away from windows.
Yes.
Is the best place to be. But the rotation is taking this storm. I'm going to put just kind of, again, looks like our rotation is right through here near Elk Mills, to right near the state line, and moving to the east. So this would impact areas of southern Johnson County, areas of north and east Murray County, North Carolina. So what that warning is until 1:30, correct?
Yes, both warnings are until 1:30 for Avery, Johnson, and Carter.
Okay. You say it's moving east at 45 miles per hour?
Around 40.
All right, so let's go ahead and do a track on that. I need to change the speed on this. And so do a track on this. Again, a tornado, Doppler radar indicated tornado near the Carter and Johnson and Avery County line, right, where those three counties come together. And that storm is pushing off to the east at about 40 miles per hour.
Yes. Radar indicated. We don't have any confirmation of one on the ground, but certainly we are seeing or on the radar, we are seeing rotation.
And so this would take this eastward. So they've also included now parts of Watauga County in that tornado warning as well.
Yes. Northwestern Watauga County until 1:30 as well.
And so as this moves eastward, as well as the southern part of Johnson County, northern Avery, and western portions of Watauga County up to about Boone are under a tornado warning. So about 1 o'clock in the morning includes areas around Linville. That's on the southern part, not in the tornado warning, but it also includes areas around Newland at 1 o'clock in the morning. We've got Boone around 1:14. We've got Blowing Rock around 1:18. Blowing Rock is not in the tornado warning. Boone is in the tornado warning. Bailey Camp around 1:23 in the morning. Baldwin around 1:30. Purlier around 1:47. Mulberry around 1:55. And Wilkes County, assuming that maybe the Wilkes County Airport around 2:00. This storm has definitely flared up and now producing a possible tornado as it continues to push eastward through extreme northeast, extreme east portions of Carter County. You can see that there, and then also into the southern part of Johnson County, from near Watauga Lake, near Butler, toward Roan Mountain, points eastward. This does include the areas of Elk Mills in Carter County, and also Watauga Lake along the Johnson and Carter County line, Highway 321, as well as areas around Beach Mountain. Looks like Roan Mountain would be cleared of this tornado warning, but extending from near Banner Elk up toward Beach Mountain in that tornado warning, also into areas around Valley Crucis and Sugar Grove in the tornado warning, Meat Camp, extending about as far east as Boone, North Carolina, under a tornado warning right now, as that small but intense storm continues to push through that part of East Tennessee and western North Carolina. That is as far as the current Tennessee warnings. All the other severe thunderstorm warnings have expired at 1 a.m., so no longer is Unicoi County or other portions of Carter County outside that tornado warning, or other parts of Johnson County, no longer under severe thunderstorm warnings, though we do still have severe thunderstorm warnings right up along the western, the tier of counties bordering Tennessee and North Carolina, for example, Yancey County and Mitchell County and Avery County, Watauga County, Ashe County, all under severe thunderstorm warnings. Those warnings, at least for the Yancey, Mitchell, Avery County storms until 1:15, does look like the more intense activities, though, pushing through northern Avery and also Watauga County. The Watauga and Ashe County severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 2 a.m., and we still have a tornado warning for Watauga County, which includes Beech Mountain, Boone, and Meat Camp, as well as the northern part of Avery County until 1:30, as well as the eastern tip of Carter County and the southern part of Johnson County. This does not include Mountain City. It does not include Elizabethton or Roan Mountain, but does include Elk Mills and areas of southern Johnson County into especially Watauga County and the northern part of Avery County. Those are the sections that are currently under a tornado warning. So just be mindful of that as we go through the next half hour, basically, is when the warnings expire.
Yeah, we're also looking at some very strong winds with these storms that's going to be moving into your area, as well as up to quarter-size hail. So again, some damaging winds, some heavy downpours with this line of thunderstorms, as well as the hail, and of course within that tornado warning. Even if you're not in that tornado warning, that line of thunderstorms are still going to be impactful, just as impactful, with the strong winds very quickly, anywhere from 40 to 45 miles per hour.
And so the plotted mile per hour gust wind speeds there are at storm level. So this the leading edge of that line of storms along the Tennessee North Carolina border, at least at storm level, has up to 60 mile an hour winds right now. But we're also seeing some rotation with this wind field as well, which is of concern for the possibility of that tornado. So we've got the rotation most evident, it looks like, right through this zone here. In this zone, kind of a broad area, but just to be safe, that area there near the North Carolina, Tennessee state line, which is running basically right here. That's the North Carolina and Tennessee state line. And so just kind of near, and then the Carter and Johnson County line is right here. So we kind of have right where Avery, Watauga, Carter, and Johnson County, those four counties come together. That small area is where that possible tornado is right now, which continues to push off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. And the danger continues along Highway 321, right along the Johnson and Carter County line, as well as, especially now, it looks like Avery County, the very most northern tip of Avery County, as well as western portions of Watauga County, still have that danger of a possible tornado as this storm continues pushing off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. With that tornado warning continuing until 1:30. I don't anticipate the tornado warning being necessary beyond, it won't make it to 1:30 in Carter or Johnson County. I think that threat will pass long before 1:30, but still is imminent right now for areas around Elk Mills, along Highway 321, right along the Carter-Johnson County line. And that warning will, of course, include areas of Watauga and northern Avery County. So be in your safe place. It's a dangerous storm, and you do need to take this storm seriously. We don't typically get very many tornado warnings in this part of our viewing area, though they do obviously occur, and the safety precautions that are involved with any tornado warning go for mountainous terrain, so just to take this storm seriously and be sure that you are in your safe place as the storm continues to move across these areas through about 1:30 or so over the next half hour.
I do have a local storm report for our area. It's thunderstorm wind damage. This is in about 2 miles northwest of Colonial Heights. This is from the law enforcement in Sullivan. Trees blown down on Moreland Drive.
Okay.
So again, that was about 10:10 that this was submitted. And we're just now getting it, but that happened about 10:10 p.m.
This is the new one here that just popped
for wind
on.
damage in Colonial Heights.
Right there. And so that, of course, that area was under a tornado warning too, about that time, and as was the hail report that we've gotten about that time a few minutes earlier in Church Hill. So this is all part of that same supercell, or that same cell that moved across eastern Hawkins and then through Sullivan County, kind of branched off into another storm that had rotation, and that came through the central and eastern parts of Sullivan County. So we actually had two potential tornadic cells. Have not had reports of any tornado touchdown, but we've had now at least some wind damage reports, trees down on Moreland Drive in the Colonial Heights area near Kingsport in Sullivan County. That was, again, around 10:10 with those storms that were resulting in the tornado warnings earlier this evening.
Just for the sheer how fast those storms are moving, I'm surprised we haven't gotten any more reports.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why we haven't had more. I mean, we've had a plethora of severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings throughout the course of the evening. Turned out to be a very active weather event, limited so far in storm damage, but the night is still young, and like the storm report out of on Moreland Drive there at Colonial Heights, that was what, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, about 3 hours ago. So,
yes.
I mean, there I'm sure are going to be other reports filtering in overnight tonight.
I would not be
come in.
surprised at that. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Boone, the King Street Boone camera, just to see. Right now it's pretty calm. Actually, it looks like it kind of froze there, but I'm keeping an eye on that because of those storms. It's going to be impacting Boone very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if we go back to the radar, the storm is still right along the kind of curving a little bit from near the Johnson and Carter County line right here, and then it crosses right here into North Carolina. All right, so basically there's the state line right there. So we still have a small intense part of that storm still hanging on to especially the southern part of Johnson County now. But there certainly is an intense segment of this storm pushing across Watauga County now, near Valley Crucis and near Sugar Grove. This would include areas and also getting near 421, kind of near and south of Zionville towards Sugar Grove and the Valley Crucis, and that tornado warning is in effect all this area of Watauga County especially, as it continues to push east at 45 miles per hour. So you go ahead, Teresa. Sorry.
Here's another report. This was submitted to us via email from Brandy Turner. She says lightning hit transformer in Carter County, no power.
And that was where was that in Carter County?
She did not say. Just said lightning hit transformer in Carter County, no power.
I'm sure there are, but anyway, we could maybe go look up and to see how power outages are doing right now. But I did want to point out, you had the King Street camera up in Boone. It kind of froze on us, but that line of storms is just a few miles to the west of Boone right now. So, I mean, it's on the doorstep. So the folks, around Valley Crucis and Sugar Grove, it's on top of you, and there could be some damaging wind gusts with that part of the storm cell. But getting very close now to Boone is going to stay north of Blowing Rock, but certainly.
Okay, I do have Boone camera up. nothing yet.
Still, oh, yeah, it's just a couple of miles west, but it will be coming down pretty hard. Probably won't rain real hard very long because it's a pretty narrow segment, but thunderstorm segment line. But it's going to come down, hard, very heavily, and there could be some winds with that as well. I do see that Johnson County and Carter County have been dropped from the tornado warning. So now we do not have any warnings now for East Tennessee or Southwest Virginia, but we still have the tornado warning for Watauga County, which does include areas around Sugar Grove, Valley Cruces, and soon to move into the Boone area, extending from near Trade in Johnson County there, near the Tennessee North Carolina state line along Highway 421. But really, it looks like from near Sugar Grove to near Valley Cruces is where the part of the storm is still potentially producing some strong damaging winds. So update here, they kind of trimmed away that warning as well in North Carolina. So still the tornado warning is still in effect just for a smaller part of Watauga County now. It does include that area that is flashing right there. Tornado warning remains in effect until 1:30 a.m. for northwestern Watauga County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Sugar Grove, moving east at 40 miles per hour. And so this does include areas around Meat Camp as well as Boone, and two areas just south of Trade. Does not include Johnson County, but bumps up right up to the border. But all of the area impacted by that tornado warning right now is all in Watauga County until 1:30 in the morning. Go ahead. Sorry.
Dave, I do have the power outages map. I'm looking at it right now. Washington County, the county has close to 14,500 out.
That's impressive.
That's
quite a few.
That's in Washington County.
Tennessee.
Sullivan, Tennessee, 111 out. Hawkins, about 150 out. Hancock, 100 out. Greene County, about 244 customers out. Unicoi right now, about 356. So the one that has the most is Washington County right now.
By a long stretch, too. By quite a bit, too, but significant.
Yes.
A number. Would you say 14,000?
Yeah, 14,493 to be exact.
And then the other counties were in the hundreds.
Correct.
And so that's quite a bit of the metro of Johnson City that has had some power issues from these storms that came through. And probably the storm that was most responsible was just within the past hour or so, and is the one that's now moving into North Carolina here at this point. But still, as these storms and showers, Teresa, move over these same areas, we could be looking at some flash flood potential as we go through the overnight hours as well.
Oh, most definitely, because we've had multiple rounds of rain and heavy at times. One was this morning that moved through the area, and then we got that break, and then now we've got a couple more rounds that have been over, during the evening hours. So no doubt that there's going to be some localized flooding.
And so I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull out a little bit and show estimates. Let's just go 12 hours so we can include. This does not take into account most of what happened this morning. Most of this, it looks like, I just want to get everything that happened this evening. But anyway, so most of this did happen this evening. There was additional rain this morning that's probably not included on this particular map. But you can see far less across Southwest Virginia the past 12 hours. But some really heavy totals have occurred across parts of East Tennessee. We've got the flash flood warnings in effect right now until, was it 4 o'clock, I believe?
About
kind of
4:15.
In this area of Jefferson. I'm not sure. I don't think Hawk was in that flash flood warning. But anyway, you can see that
Greene
area
County.
right there. is definitely heavy. And then we've got the flash flood warning still in effect until 2 or 2:30, right along the Hawkins and Hancock County line. So those areas have really been hammered pretty hard. And I'll zoom in a little tighter, and we'll kind of get an estimate of how much rain has fallen. And look at this here, right along the Greene and Cott County line. Estimates, may even be, locally more than what I'm getting here, but nonetheless, you can see around, Greene County and into the
Anywhere
southern.
from 3 to close to 4 inches.
Yeah, right, especially in that flash flood warning area.
Right.
Estimates. Some might be some areas that get a little bit more than where my cursor's hitting, but you can see in that flash flood zone where possibly 3 to 4 inches of rain has fallen, in a fairly compact period of time. And then we also have those flash flood warnings that continue in this area as well, where we've got the red showing up, or the orange.
It's really amazing to see where the path of this storm has come from, affecting more into Tennessee rather than Southwest Virginia.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course,
a big difference.
obviously Southwest Virginia, they have received some rainfall, but not as much as some of these locations.
Yeah, these are pretty healthy rain totals.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the flash flood warnings in effect for parts of Greene and Hamlin County until 4-ish, and for another hour or so yet for along the Hawkins and Hancock County line. And if reports continue to come in that flooding is still ongoing, those flash flood warnings may be extended or to include other parts of northeast Tennessee as well. So just be really cautious out there tonight as we continue to see several more rounds of heavy rain continuing to push across northeast Tennessee, western North Carolina, and certain sections as well of southwest Virginia. But the rains have been much lighter, and the severity of the storms have been lighter as well, except for parts of Scott and Washington County, which did get in on those earlier warnings this evening.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Max 2, King Street, Boone. That just literally just a few minutes ago, it was quiet. And now look at it. Heavy rainfall and plenty of lightning as that storm moves into that area. So just a few minutes ago, it was fine.
And now the heavy rain is coming through.
Yep.
And that's Doppler Power 5 Doppler radar can confirm that the heavy downpours continue across Watauga County right now, including the Boone area. I can put the lightning data on there as well. And that still extends all the way back to the Carter and Johnson County line as well, some of that heavy lightning, but the more intense storm that has the tornado warning with it is in effect for Watauga County right now, and will continue until 1:30, that possible rotating storm that may have a tornado with it is continuing to push across Watauga County, so the danger is still imminent in that part of Watauga County, and folks should be in their safe place still at this hour, but still focusing on, still rounds of rain continuing across northeast Tennessee and other parts of southwest Virginia. But at this point in time, it looks like perhaps the threat of severe thunderstorms winding down for northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia, but still ongoing for yet another half hour, maybe or so, for portions of Watauga and Ashe County in North Carolina.
I have some video. This was over Johnson City, and take a look at this. Bob LaPrade sent this in, and
wow, look at
you
that.
can really see some flooding on the streets there with that heavy rainfall. When that second line of, so thank you, Bob, for submitting that.
Absolutely, appreciate that great video coming in from Johnson City.
Great.
Seems like perhaps the flooding and the lightning may end up being the biggest part or concern with this storm, and of course we were talking about in Washington County, Tennessee, 14,000 customers without power, quite a bit fewer number of households or customers without power in other counties around northeast Tennessee, but certainly Washington County, Tennessee had the lion's share, it appears, with the storms that came through this evening, with 14,000 people without power or customers without power.
Right. Yeah, that's quite a bit. And still we had in several hundred in the other counties that I was looking at. But yeah, the most was Washington County, over 14,000, close to 14,500 without power. And still right now we've only received just those 2 storm reports in our area of the trees down.
Yeah, in Colonial Heights
and the hail.
And Churchill was that
yes.
inch diameter hail. So 2. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we will probably just go ahead and put this back to regular programming right now.